How's it going, everybody? Happy Monday and welcome back to the Mallett live stream. Hope everyone had a great, safe weekend with all this crazy weather we've been having. It got cold again. If you've been around long enough, you know I don't like that. But what I do like is talking about all the cool stuff we have going on at Mallett. So let's hop right into that. This week we're going to start a little different. There is no Where's Mallett today. We're some technical difficulties on our end, not scheduling. They are booking and rolling as always. We are in 94 locations. I do know that much. However, as far as the map goes, we don't have that beautiful graphic today. But stay tuned. We will have that as soon as we fix the issues on our end. But what we do have is why Mallett. So we're not going to show you where today, but we can talk about why. So let's jump into that. Why Mallett? We're going to see two different types of buildings here, the Rival Series and the Mallett Classic. Now you may ask, why is this the Mallett Classic and this is the Rival Series? That's because this technically is not a Mallett building. What is a Mallett building and what is the Rival Series? Let's talk about that. So the Rival Series is going to be our building that we've created based on industry standard specs and builds and essentially what the competition uses. This is going to be centered around most other builders' better or best buildings that they offer. However, this is going to be what comes with it. 29 gauge metal, a 4-on-12 roof pitch, 2x6 common flat trusses, 130 mile-an-hour wind rating on the building. They're not going to have any uplift control nor any post pads. The post is going to go straight into the dirt or gravel, so that's what our Rival Series is going to have. You're going to have 2x8 headers, 3,000 PSI concrete, no ground protection, so skirt board guards are not on this. It's going to be a limited warranty, and number 2, untreated generic lumber. Now, this is going to get you a built to code, industry standard, good enough building. And as we always tell you, we don't necessarily want to sell you the Rival Series because we know there is better in the Mallett lineup. And with just the $2,500, $3,000 difference between the Rival and this building here, it's almost a no-brainer to jump a little bit more from the Rival Series to get everything that comes in the Mallett Classic. And let's go over that because the extra features are astounding, you guys. Right off the bat, you're going to see stronger, better, more durable quality in the 26 gauge metal. You're going to see a 5-on-12 roof pitch as opposed to a 4-on-12 roof pitch. The 5-on-12 is going to be superior as far as runoff of water and debris, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing. It's going to match more into a residential area as well. It's going to fit those more natural sized roof pitches of the homes. We're going to have 2x6 cathedral trusses. So where the Rival has 2x6 common flats, we're going to have 2x6 cathedral or scissor trusses. It's going to allow for better or more headroom and just honestly more aesthetically pleasing when you're inside one of the buildings. We're going to have third-party inspected trusses. Due to our partnering with multiple organizations throughout Louisiana and Texas, we are required to have third-party inspections done on our trusses and our truss plant. Yet we have a truss plant. We make every truss here in-house. We are one of only 2 or 3 in the entire state that have a certified truss plant, and we are very proud of that. So we make everything here in-house. These trusses are going to be third-party inspected to ensure quality, quality control. We're going to have consistency and making sure we're not only built to code, but everything Mallett says we do, and we're proud to say we pass every time. Now, the Mallett Classic is going to start off with a 140 mile-an-hour wind load rating on the building as opposed to the 130 mile-an-hour rating on the Rival Series. So 10 miles more, that makes a difference here in these storm-heavy areas. Speaking of storms, we also have the Mallett cable lock system. This is going to be our uplift control. It's going to be 1/8 inch aircraft cable that is bolted to the base of each and every post inside this building. And it's going to go around the entire building, creating a web of cables essentially. On top of that web of cables is going to be our 4-inch 4,000 PSI concrete if you're getting a Mallett Classic building. That concrete's going to harden on top of these cables, forming your slab, and it's going to hold dead weight down on these cables and locking the building into place. In a post frame constructed building, there is no weight on the slab. It is a floating slab, as it is called, and all the structural weight of the building is on the posts. This cable lock system distributes that weight evenly around all the cables, and that slab is going to sit on top, again, holding the dead weight of the slab. That's going to create what we call uplift control. So in a high wind scenario, if the wind's going to rush into the building, say it breaks a window, knocks a door in, whatever it may be, you will be safe and secure knowing that the building won't be taken away by the wind, because when that wind goes in, it wants to come out. That's called uplift. It's almost like a parachute effect. So this cable lock system is going to, as it says, lock it in place and protect it from that uplift. We're also going to have that same concrete under each and every post in the form of a post pad. You're going to get an 80-pound bag of concrete in your post hole for every single post, and that post is going to sit on there on that aggregate. It's going to harden, it's going to solidify, and you're going to be locked into place, and that post is going to have a firm foundation to help prevent unwanted settling and shifting of your building. You're also going to have double 2x12 headers. You're going to have skirt board guards for ground protection, a 4-year workmanship warranty, all the way up to a 10-year warranty on the elite building. You're going to have #1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber from the base to the top of the building. Everything is kiln dried, MCA ground treated lumber. On top of our in-house engineering oversight, Mr. Darrell and his team do a phenomenal job making sure everything is not only designed well, but built and engineered well to have the best, most amazing building you can possibly have, and that's the Mallett way. So for under $3,000 to jump from the rival to the classic, it's a no-brainer, you guys. You get all of these amazing features plus the extra win rating on the building. It makes sense to me. How about you guys? If you're ready to get that started, give us a call, 337-214-0428. A building specialist is waiting to answer any questions you may have. Trucking right along, we're going to talk about if you are looking to get a Mallett building. Every single day we want to let you know that you get $500 off if you are a healthcare worker, first responder, military personnel, teacher, or educator. We just want to say thank you for what you do, so every day you're able to claim your $500 off your next Mallett building. Now, you can also, if you're upgrading to a signature or elite building, you can have cash from the Tiger Cash here. That's going to get you $1,000 off your next Mallett building if it is a signature or elite. Now, this does not apply to specials or promotions. However, don't miss out on a chance for $1,000 if you are building your Mallett building. That is a signature or elite tier. As we mentioned earlier, the elite tier has a 10-year workmanship warranty. The signature has a 6-year workmanship warranty, the classic being a 4-year. So don't miss out on that. Comment cash right now and get your $1,000 off. Speaking of specials and promotions, here's what we're doing this week here at Mallett in our March Madness specials. We even have a bonus special for you this week, so don't miss out. Here it is. Special number 1 for this week only. You get free 10-foot gable extension on your building. So you get an extra 300 square foot of covered porch space on your 30 by 50 by 12. So any elite building that's 30 by 50 by 12, you're going to get an additional 10 free foot in the form of a gable extension for free. So you're going to get all the cool elite premium features, you guys. You're going to get the gutters, the single bubble insulation, ridge vents, post protectors, 10-year warranty that we talked about. You're going to get a walk-through door, 2 12 by 10 roll-up doors, 2 3 by 5 windows, 6-inch 4,000 PSI microfiber reinforced concrete, and this is just to name a few things. You're also going to get the best building in the country, backed by everything Mallett stands for, 46,750. So you get a 30 by 50 by 12 with a free 10-foot gable extension for 46,750 this week only. Now, just because we love you guys, we want to make sure you're feeling the opening up to spring the right way. We added a second. This did not refresh. We'll talk about those specials in a second. Cajun Oasis. So ignore everything I just said about that special because that was last week's special. It's always fun when technology doesn't do its thing, right? We have the Cajun Oasis Classic, though. It is a 30 by 50 by 12 for $49,999. It, too, comes with insulation, a climate control package, a electrical package, and a 5-ton wall-mounted unit. As you can see here, that electrical package and 5-ton unit are going to be a $16,000 value you get for free, you guys. And that's going to be sure to give you a building that can withstand up to 140 mile an hour on the building because it is a classic building. And you're gonna get all of this included. The building is ready to go. Once it's done, you just hook up the power, turn the lights on, you have heating, cooling, power, insulation, all of it. It could be a great workshop, office space, he shed, she shed, mother-in-law suite, home gym, whatever you need it to be. Now, if you like the way the Elite sounds, we also have the Cajun Oasis in the Elite. You get the same $16,000 value, the same amazing features that are included, but you get all the cool features of an Elite building. As you can see here, you're gonna get the gutters, you're gonna get the extra window, you're gonna get the roll-up doors, you're gonna get the walk-through door, you have optional wainscoting, you're gonna get closer truss and post spacing, you're gonna get a 160 mile an hour wind load rated building with 170 mile an hour wind load rating on the roof system. That's just another beautiful feature of the Elite building. So that is wonderful there. That is for $59,999. This is the Cajun Oasis Elite. Now moving right along to the 5 red flags. When you are considering doing business with a builder, we have compiled a list of things you should consider before moving forward with said builder. Whether it is us here at Mallett or anyone else that you may be talking to, please run the test of the 5 red flags. Now, number 1 is going to be licensure or years in business. You want to check with the Secretary of State website to see if they have a license. First off, if they don't appear on the Secretary of State website, they don't have a business license, which means they're not legally able to conduct business as a business. And that could be a red flag if they don't pop up there. If they do, you want to make sure they have an adequate years in business. Everyone has to start somewhere, but you don't always want to be the guinea pig when it comes to these big investments such as an accessory building and especially a barn dominium if that's the route you're taking. So please be sure to check the Secretary of State website and make sure you have everything in order and make sure they have everything in order. Moving right along to licensure. Check the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, the LSLBC, to make sure they have the proper contractor's license. Even if they do have a business license, they have to have the contractor's license, whether it be residential, industrial, commercial, whatever it may be, they have to have a contractor's license for it. You can check that at the LSLBC, and while you're there, you can check for contractor's violations. So they've passed stage 1, they've passed test 2, they've made it here. Do they have violations? Unfortunately, in this area, most all people do. We're proud to say here at Mallett in our 27 years, we have 0 contractor violations and plan to keep that record squeaky clean as long as we are here. But if they have a violation or if they're hiding a violation from you, that could be a red flag and something to consider. Now, reviews on the BBB and Google, we want you to check the Better Business Bureau. We want you to check Google. Everywhere where reviews are left, we have over 700 of them between all the sites, and these 2 specific, you guys, we have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, as well as, again, over 700 reviews between Google and BBB, and we're incredibly proud about that. Some people only have a handful, and the few that they do have are negative reviews. We have actually not even a fair share. We have a couple of negative reviews as well, but the overwhelming majority are amazing, positive, 5-star reviews. So we want you to check out both good and bad, us and them, and make sure you can compare everything of a customer's journey and make a decision for yourself. Finally, red flag number 5, visit the contractor's facility. We want you to stop by. We want you to come in, say hello, take the tour. We have had so many tours happening, so many new faces walking in, seeing our beautiful facility. Again, like I mentioned, we have the truss plant, we have the roll form plant coming along, we have the gutter plant, we have the packing and shipping area, and so much more. We also have everyone from your building specialist to the scheduling department, the engineers, the designers, everyone involved in making your building come from an idea to a structure is here at Mallett, and they are ready to have a conversation to make sure you understand everything about your building. So please come on by, take the tour, enjoy yourself, come on in. We have an in-house signing bonus, so if you're in that portion of the phase of the building process as well, come on in and get your discount there. But if you have any questions, please give us a call or visit us online at mallettbuildings.com. We'll be sure to take care of you. But that is going to be it for me. Here is Mr. Daryl for Engineering Monday, and you have a fun topic today.
Hey, I'm Daryl, the engineer here at Mallett, and I have a kind of a buffet of things to look at today. And it came from looking at our company cam and some of the projects that are currently ongoing or have recently been completed. And within this slideshow, we're going to see 3 different buildings that we've done. And there's going to be 3 or 4 opportunities for you to see if you can recognize something in the construction world. That would be one way to put it. Another way to put it is you might look at this picture and say, "What is that?" So this is the first picture, and I don't know which project this is, but this is a typical Mallett window, and when the window has been installed, and so the question is, what is that? You know, this is illustrating the flashing that goes around the window, and you see this is tape, and this is the building wrap that goes on first, and so this is a 5-step process for installing flange-type windows, which are the kind of windows that you use when you have metal siding, and the thing is, this is why it's good to go with a company that has lots of experience, because nobody likes leaky windows, and if windows are not flashed properly, whenever you have vinyl and when you have metal especially, they will leak when you get hard rains, and unless you flash it properly. And so we follow, I'm not saying that we follow these 5 steps to the T, but we have a method that has been developed over years and years, and that's what we use. That's how we flash these windows. So that's the first one. What's that? Now, here's the second one. What's that? Now, you look at this photo, and you see some string, and you see a measurement of 64 feet, 7.5 inches. And so then you see the tape coming from another way, and it's 64 feet, 7.5 inches. So what is that? Well, that is confirming the overall structure squareness. And now, you know, a lot of you guys that watch this program are very familiar with that. But if you're not, you know, you have to get the building square. It has to be square, because what will happen if it's out of square, you will eventually see that in the construction process, particularly when we have our trusses spaced at 5 foot on center. Well, if the building is out of square, that last truss is going to be crooked. It's going to show. And so the way that contractors have been doing this for a long, long time is using the 3-4-5 triangle, the Pythagorean theory, and you get, or the equal diagonals. And so I found this is an explanation of this. It says, to perform this verification, a long tape measure is pulled from the outside corner of the layout across to the far opposite corner, recording the length with high precision. This process is then repeated for the second diagonal, measuring between the 2 remaining opposite corners of the layout. If the 2 resulting measurements are not identical, which these were, it indicates the entire footprint is slightly skewed, even if the individual corners were set at 90 degrees. Discrepancies often arise from minor errors in establishing the full length and width dimensions of the structure, causing it to be slightly parallelogram shaped. And so that's what that was. Yeah, say that 3 times. Okay, now here's number 3. What is that? Well, this is a photo that, that illustrates the need for diagonal bracing while you're constructing the building. This is at a stage when the posts are up, the girts are up, the wall girts are up, the trusses are up, the purlins are up, but the sheathing has not been installed. And so the sheathing acts as the diaphragm to give the whole structure rigidity. And so until you get that sheathing up, once you get every post level in each direction, then you have to put some bracing up until you get that sheathing on. That's what that's illustrating. And so this contractor's doing a good job doing that. Okay, so now let's look at a few of our projects. This project is for Mr. Scott Walter, and it was a 40 by 70 building, and the reason that I wanted you to see this was because it's a 50 foot, 40 by 50 by 16 building, okay? And so the height is 16 feet. Well, he's got a second story up here, but he's only got 16 feet. Well, so how does that work? Well, if you measure, so if this first floor is, say, 9 feet, and then the floor joists go up, that's another foot, so that's 10 feet. So that's only going to leave 6 feet right there on the second floor. But because of the trusses, the second floor would be a cathedral ceiling and you'd still have plenty of room. So that was a pretty good trick. He saved himself some money by going with a 16-foot building rather than an 18-foot or 20-foot, and it's still a great looking building. And so there you see the trusses, the scissor trusses. And so this is the building as it's being constructed, and there you see the scissor trusses, and there you see while it's still being constructed. So that silver there is the insulation, and some more photos of that. So that's a good looking building and a smart thing to do. And this building is for Mr. Benoit, and it is a 30 by 70 by 12. And I wanted to look at it because I kind of like the colors. It's kind of got this red schoolhouse, red barn look to it, and it had scissor trusses and then a wing, and here it is being constructed, and that's after it's completed. I like the wainscot, I like that brown and the red, and there it is again. There's the wing, and it's a good looking building. Now, here's the next, what's that? So what is that? What are we looking at? What is this? What's this on the floor? Well, that's the saw cutting process, and we've talked about this before. But we've started saw cutting several months ago, maybe a year ago or more, and we do that to limit the hairline cracking in the slab that occurs. Hairline cracks in the slab really don't hurt anything, but people don't like them. And one way to eliminate them is to saw cut. And there it is after it's dried. So the saw uses water as it's cutting to keep the blade from overheating, and that's what you're seeing there. That's the water from the wetting of the saw. So it's a wet saw blade, and there it is after it dries. And so anyway, so that's the other what's that. And then here's the explanation of that. And this is from the American Concrete Institute. When should saw cuts be made on a concrete slab? And it says saw cuts, also called relief cuts, should be timed carefully to control cracking and maintain the integrity of the slab. Saw cutting should occur before random drying shrinkage cracks form, and when the surface is firm enough not to be damaged by the blade. And so they give a window of 4 to 12 hours, perhaps 2 to 6 hours. In hot weather, 1 hour. And so you got to do it quick. And so that's what we're doing, and we're following the ACI recommendations there. So that's the talk for today, and next week we're going to look at some more of our projects that we've been that just have recently been taking place, and I'm also going to speak some on the fasteners that we use. You know, I'm always researching and trying to find the best fasteners that gives us a high strength at a reasonable cost. And so I'm going to speak on that as well as speak on some of these other projects. Well, y'all have a great rest of the day and stay warm. And of course, probably in a few days, it'll be hot again. So see y'all later.